Wendy McPherson effectively wrapped up Bowler of the Decade when she won the last major tournament of '99, defeating Marianne DeRupo. Tonight, she's top seed in the first major of the millennium and vying for her second WIBC Queens crown. Tonight's opener features Kim Terrell, Sharon Aronson, and defending champ Leanne Barrett. The winner will step up to face Marianne DeRupo in the semifinals, and the victor of that match will attempt to stop top seed Wendy McPherson. Welcome inside the 78-lane National Bowling Stadium for the finals of the 2000 WIBC Queens Tournament. Hi, everyone. I'm Jan Schmidt, along with my partner, Lisa Wagner. Thanks for tuning in. We both know how special it is to wear these tiaras. And Lisa, you might remember better than I. It was 1996 for you. How did it feel?
It was absolutely terrific, Jan. You know, and the main reason that I wanted to win the Queens was to get this really cool crown.
Well, I would agree. And as you can see, we both wear them whenever we get the chance. A lady who probably remembers very well, defending champ Leanne Barrett. She qualified third this week. Lisa, what are her chances to repeat?
Well, you know, in history, only 4 women have successfully defended their Queen's title. And for Leanne, she's had a bit of a slow start in 2000. But, you know, she had some help from some friends. She's back on track. She wants to become just the 5th lady to win back-to-back crowns.
In the number 4 position, a lady is making her first singles telecast on TV, Sharon Aronson.
Well, Sharon, welcome to national TV and a major tournament. I have just a little bit of advice for you. Throw strikes and throw lots of them because you're bowling against a combined 50 pro titles. But seriously, Sharon is a very good bowler, and I like her chances at making a run for the title.
We're ready to start that run with the first match. Barrett and Aronson will be joined by Kim Terrell. Players are standing by, and there's the handshake all the way around. The 2000 WIBC Queens Tournament presented by Reno Tri Properties. Leanne Barrett will start the match, defending champion. 14 years on tour for Leanne Barrett, a lot of experience in this telecast.
Well, she's chosen to start first, so that means she probably wants to finish first and get it out of the way.
And that's the way to start when you're trying to defend a title. First look at Sharon Aronson. We mentioned for singles telecast, she has bowled in an intercollegiate championship where she just did Baker system, 2 frames of bowling on TV.
That's right. And what a great game she has. When this lady bowls, watch her. Watch how simple she is. She has a great, simple 5-step approach. She's just not going to get in a whole lot of trouble.
And Kim Terrell, the third factor in this equation, actually. 34 years old, 11 years on tour for Kim Terrell.
Also from California, so these 3 know each other pretty well, have bowled against each other quite a bit.
Which could be interesting for this lady, Sharon Aronson, because she mentioned she's much more relaxed. She's bowling with a player that she knows or has bowled with.
That's right. She said that in match play for the Queens, you know, those head-to-head 3-game matches, when she's bowling somebody that she doesn't know what to expect, it makes her a little bit nervous.
Kim left 4-7-10. Not a very good start. She'll take the wood, 2 pins, and Leanne Barrett will step up in the second. Boy, she really fits her hand into that ball, making sure it's precise.
That's right. She has made a bit of a grip change this week, too. Went back to the old familiar feeling that she had before. It's helped a lot.
Oh,
what a break.
Oh, now what a great camera shot of that break. Sharon, meanwhile, Aronson up in the second frame, working on a spare.
To look at Leanne's first shot here, we're going to see ball checking up there pretty late. Got a great break by a pin coming off the sideboard there, leaving just the 7 pin, and she made it.
She took out the 7 with the ball. Sharon now shooting at the 3-6-10. Lisa, I found this to be a very tough spare this week. I kept Well, maybe it's just me. I missed it many times.
Yeah, I did too. Well, I guess the problem was we left it too many
So
times.
that could be. That must be a Kim Terrell now up in the second frame. Kim needs to get something started here. She qualified fifth, 222 average. Well, fans in the St. Louis area have always been supportive of the professional bowling tours and have come out in force to bowl in the Pro-Ams. Let's continue the tradition this year. Pro-Ams for the St. Clair Classic are Saturday, June 3rd and Sunday, June 4th. Contact Matt Schellebarger at 618-632-2400 for more information on the tournament and the Pro-Ams. And we hope to see you there. I know Lisa will be looking forward to bowling with you, right?
Oh, you bet. I will definitely be there.
And Barrett, meanwhile, stepping up in the third frame. Clean, strikes Barrett. Some of the pairs, pair to pair, was very different. Some were very high scoring, some not so high scoring.
Well, that's right. In match play, especially, you could draw any pair there according to the schedule, and it might mean that you would be on one end of the house one match, the other end the next match, and they might tend to be a little bit different.
Okay, well, Sharon throws a third frame. I know a lot of bowling going on, but we want to really quickly tell you this format is different this year. 2 days of qualifying, 5 games apiece. Then they did something different.
Right. They cut to the top 1/4, which was 120 bowlers. And those 120 bowled 5 more games. And then they cut to the top 63 plus Leanne to take 64 to go into match play.
Okay, and then it was head-to-head 3-game series matches. Double elimination. Kim goes high, leaving the 6-10. That's 2 times high in that lane. But double elimination, if you lost, you went into a contenders bracket, which is how Kim Terrell got to 5th place on the telecast.
A lot of bowling. Lots of bowling. I mean, these ladies would start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes, they wouldn't end until probably 9 o'clock. So it's a good 12-hour day in there with sometimes a lot of breaks.
Covers up the spare, and Leanne Barrett has the lead, but it's a long way to the crown. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's Uptown.
WIBC Queens tournament are being brought to you by the Women's International Bowling Congress, striving for 85 years to identify and fulfill the needs of women bowlers. And by MasterCard. There are some things in life money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. We're back. While we were away, Sharon Aronson had trouble. Kim Terrell continued to strike to even the match with Leanne Barrett. Leanne Barrett leaving a tough, solid 9 in the 6th frame. Here's Kim in the 5th frame.
Well, that's right. This is one of a 4-bagger that she has right now. She has definitely figured out that left lane that she went high on the 1st and 3rd frame. So this is going to be a close match.
Leanne Barrett now up in the 8th. She's working on a strike, as is Kim Terrell. Dead even. Need to match.
Oh, no. That was the same thing that she left on that lane the last time. Same thing in the 6th frame.
Identical.
So
Sharon Aronson, meanwhile, having a little bit of trouble. A couple of washouts in 5th and 7th. She's up in 8th, but trails by 54 pins. Happy to be here, though, I'm sure. Leanne Barrett now shooting the 9-pin yet again.
the ball's just driving it so hard in the pocket. I mean, you can see it when she throws. You can see the revolutions that she puts on it. That ball drives hard.
Sharon Aronson was able to be here because of her parents, Barry and Deanna Bailey, who watch her daughter, Laura, while she comes out and competes. So she's very thankful for them for doing that. She has an 8-year-old daughter.
And a husband, Paul, at home, still working.
Kim Terrell now up in the 8th frame, working on a 4-bagger. Can take a 10-pin lead with a strike here. That pin count's going to hurt her because she's working on strikes.
And has left herself with a very difficult spare.
Leanne Barrett now up in the 9th frame, big setup frame. Right for Leanne Barrett in an all-important ninth frame.
That's Kim's first shot here when she's going to leave the 3-6, 9-10. Look at it, just cut right through. She got a break there with the 7-pin falling out. That would have made this even a little bit more difficult. She has to get the ball to the right of the 3-pin with enough angle to carry the 9. Perfect.
Just like that, and that keeps her within 4 pins of Leanne Barrett as she heads into the ninth frame. Sharon Aronson stepping up first to shoot her ninth frame. Nice finish for her, though. This is only her second Queens event. She finished in the 9 through 12 bracket last year.
Which is hard to get to.
Yes, it is. So she does well in this,
That's right.
in this format. And I think just having a little bit of jitters on television.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it doesn't look like your ball wants to roll up very strong right now. So, I don't know. You know, she'll look at it, and next time she makes a TV show, she'll learn.
Kim Terrell really needs to strike here in the ninth frame since Leanne Barrett has set up the strike already.
Wow, what a great shot. She made sure she got that one to the right a little bit because that lane seemed to be hooking a little bit early for her, a little bit more. So she made sure she made a good shot there.
Well, Leanne Barrett will finish first. You see she leads by 4 pins. She's working on a strike, and because of that, she can shut out Kim Terrell. She'll need a double and 7 pins to shut her out.
Well, you got to think that she's thinking about the back-to-back 9 pins. Oh, almost again.
Almost,
yeah.
almost.
What? Ball is cutting. It's cutting through so sharp.
It looks like she tried to give it a little more room. Not the way she wants to finish, but she's smiling. It's okay. Hey, she'll be back next year. Leanne now up needs this strike. 7 pins.
She's talking to herself.
Will she get an answer?
Trusted that a little bit more. A little bit of adrenaline. Got that down the lane pretty good. What a great shot that was.
Sharon appreciative of the crowd as they are of her. Leanne now covered the spare up, and all she can do is sit down and wait.
Well, Kim finding herself in a little bit of a different position because a lot of times in match play, Kim was the one on the bench having to watch.
Well, she will need a double here. 2 strikes, just 4 pins after that, but must strike here. There's one of them. Ooh, that was a light hit.
Sure was. You know, Kim is so smooth. You watch her game, she's a perfect model.
Well, she's had some trouble, though, and this week she thanked Carol Norman. Anne's going, okay, give me a chance. Kim Terrell thanked Carol Norman for helping her with her push away and
That's
the cats program back here.
That's right. She noticed a little glitch in there and fixed it, and here she is.
Oh, another light shot, mixing them up. That's a double. She will need 4 pins to defeat defending champ Leanne Barrett. Leanne also having some trouble this week. Had to, you mentioned, go back to a different pitch, and she wanted to thank Mark Anderson here at the stadium and Ron Bragg for redoing all of her equipment.
That's right. They worked on about 26 balls this week for her. But, she had a slow start in 2000, and what a difference it's made.
Okay, Kim, 4 pins.
Sounds easy, huh?
And it is. 9 count is plenty. Kim Terrell moves one step closer to victory, but first, when we return, we'll show you highlights of the inaugural WIBC Senior Queens event. It was the inaugural WIBC Senior Queens presented by Storm Products. Karen Pullman and Rose Smith shook hands to start off this championship match. Qualifications for this event, 55 or over. Both these ladies made it. Karen Pullman, Salt Lake City, 57, and Rose Smith, Las Vegas, Nevada, 57 years old. It took both players a while to settle in. Both had an open. Pullman struck twice, Smith struck once through 5 frames when Rose Smith stepped up in the 6th frame, trailing by 4 pins.
Rose said that she was a little bit tense going into this match, and she said that needed to make sure she threw the ball hard. She threw it hard there. Oh, what a great tap. That's a strike for Rose.
Pullman then stepped up in the 6th with that 4-pin lead. She's working on a strike.
Oh, I think she pulled that one a little bit. Brooklyn.
7th frame was a turnaround frame. Karen Pullman made another questionable shot here.
Oh, it was a little bit left out of her hand. 3-10 baby split. She did fail to convert that, made the match all even.
Meanwhile, Rose Smith stepped up in the 7th frame, trying to see if she could jump on that miss.
Oh, she threw that one nice, too. Great shot right there. Give her a 10-pin lead. There's Barbara and Bill Chrisman, sponsors of the Senior Queens from Storm Products.
Rose stepped up in the 8th to see if she could make it 3 in a row.
Ooh, left of her target there. Another Brooklyn strike for the players. Gave her a 3-bagger and a 20-pin lead.
10th frame needs a mark to win.
What a champion she is. She needed a mark there and nothing better than to strike.
It was enough to win 212 to 180. Bill and Barb Chrisman of Storm Products presented a check for $2,000 to Rose Smith, while Joyce Deitch and Roseanne Kuhn of WIBC presented the trophy and tiara. When we come back, Kim Terrell and Marianne DeRupo face off in the semifinals of the WIBC Queens. We're back at the National Bowling Stadium for the 2000 WIBC Queens event. Getting ready for the semifinal match between Marianne DeRupo and Kim Terrell. Final score of the first match, Kim Terrell shot 234 to defeat Barrett with 228 and Aronson with 140. Kim Terrell now up, starting the semifinal match, her 3rd appearance this year. Oh, 4-9, not the way she wanted to start.
Well, you know what? She did start last match with a split, too. Wasn't in the pocket, though, but this is a pocket split. But she did start last match with a split.
Good point.
And
if it ends the same, she'll be okay.
That's right. Marianne has made Kim start. Marianne had the choice this game. I think Marianne just wants to end on the left lane because I don't think she liked the right lane.
Taking 1 pin, she was obviously going for that spare. That's a spare the professionals will go for most of the time.
Oh, yeah, because it's very makeable.
9 years on tour for Marianne DeRupo, 33 years old. This is her first Queens telecast. She's never made a show in the Queens tournament before. She said she's always been knocked out by some of the top pros. High, 3-6-10.
Well, in practice, she was fishing around on that lane, threw 3 or 4 different balls on that lane, and really never got lined up. I think most of her shots were high, so she's just going to have to get something and get a little bit left find some oil and play up against that, because she said that she liked to keep it tight. Her ball had to be on a tight line most of the way down, and that was how she played most of the week.
In fact, she was playing such a tight line that you witnessed it, Lisa. She hit her ankle not only once, but twice.
That's right. Yeah, she hit it so hard one time. I don't know how she didn't knock herself down.
Well, Fort Wayne, Indiana may never be known as the hotbed of bowling, but the city claimed a piece of sports history in 1961 when it played host to the very first WIBC Queens tournament. Future WIBC Hall of Famer Janet Harmon won that initial event, defeating Eula Touchette in a 4-game final, 796 to 776. What a close one. And there's the other champions of the 60s. Marianne in the second frame, working on a spare. There she is.
Well, I got a feeling that's why she wanted to start first, because she's going to end her 10th frame on that lane and likes it.
Kim Terrell is on Brunswick Pro staff, also Turbo 2-in-1 grips. This is the second Queen show she's made. She made it in Tucson back in 1995. And we saw her lead this last match, 3-6-9-10. She obviously knows how to make it.
I think right now she's thinking about, am I a little bit slow? Am I setting it short? Or is the lane hooking a little bit? Where she's playing is fairly close to where the laydown point of Leanne Barrett was. She's a little bit left of all the other players. So Kim's laydown point right now might be drying up a little bit. So she may have to move left.
Oh, not so successful this time, leaving the 6-10 standing. 2 opens to start the semifinal match. And as you mentioned earlier, a little different for Kim. She's going to have to come from behind, which is not what she did most of the week.
No, a lot of the week she had a big lead with 1 or 2 games to go in each 3-game match. And a lot of times had to sit on the bench and watch her opponent strike at will at her. Ended up, as she said, fortunately winning.
No problem striking there. Back on track in the 3rd frame. Also her 3rd TV appearance of 2000. Well, not a lot of strikes being thrown tonight, so MasterCard may be safe. There's, once again, for the Queens Tournament, a $50,000 bonus on the table for any player shooting a 300 on television.
Ooh, what a good break there.
Well, only one bowler has won the WIBC Queens Tournament 3 times, Millie Ignizio. In 1970, Millie won for the 2nd of her 3 crowns in Tulsa, Oklahoma, defeating fellow Hall of Famer Joan Holm in 4 games, 807 to 797. And the rest of the winners in the 70s. There you see a couple of those back-to-back champions we talked about. Marianne up in the 4th frame, working on a double. And Marianne is in the lead, and we'll be right back with the rest of the WIBC Queens semifinal match.
What does WIBC mean to bowling?
Only on ESPN.
We're back in the semifinal match. While we were away, Terrell and Rupo continued to strike until the 7th frame. I guess they're unlucky 7s. 7 counts for both of them in the 7th.
That's right. Both players stepped it up there in the middle part of the match. Both of them moved left a little bit, picked the speed up too. They have gotten back to a comfort zone for them and looking for some more strikes here.
Kim Terrell trails now by 32 pins. Stepping up in the 8th frame, has to strike. And she does. Lisa asked her what her most tense moment was this week, maybe until now.
Well, I bet it was when I was bowling Carolyn Doran Ballard yesterday to try and stay in the tournament. And I was leading by 100 going into the last two games. And by the third game, she was shooting 300 at me. She needed the first two in the 10th. And luckily, she left the 10 pin.
There's Joyce Terrell, who couldn't stand it during that match. She was pacing back and forth. She's been here all week. Big supporter. Both of her parents, Dad Owens, couldn't be here, but I'm sure wishes he was. Coming up light, had to strike there in the 9th frame.
Yeah, that was definitely a must. Well, just kind of getting in some conditioner there and sailing on down the lane. And she made the right move because she was lost on that one, so she went to where she did all week, which was the correct thing to do.
Covers that spare up nicely. Yeah, she sits down that match that she talked about. It was so exciting. And Carolyn, I thought she was going to shoot 300. She shot one earlier in the week. And I know Carolyn and Kathy Dorn both want to wish Big G, their dad, well. He has surgery coming up. So we all wish him well.
That's right. Heart bypass surgery. So, but, you know, we all know George. What a strong guy he is. We wish him well.
Big strike from Marianne DeRupo in the 9th. And as we move through the decades, in 1980, the WIBC Queens tournament was held in Seattle. The same week, Mount St. Helens erupted. Mighty Mite Donna Adamek also erupted to win her second consecutive Queens tiara, defeating Cheryl Robinson in the championship match 213 to 165. And a lot of other champions there, names you'll recognize now in the 80s.
Look at there, a couple from Tokyo, Japan, Sugimoto and Inahashi. Boy, I remember bowling against them. Always in the match. Never giving anything away. They're great bowlers over there. Just a little bit high in the pocket, left a 4-pin, but has this match in control.
And finishes up in 3rd place because the best she could shoot is 214. Marianne DeRupo already has 216 with this spare in the 9th and a spare in the 10th, so it's all over. Marianne DeRupo wins hands down. When we return, I'll interview a special guest. Welcome back to the 2000 WIBC Queens Tournament. I'm with Roseanne Kuhn, the Executive Director of the Women's International Bowling Congress. And Roseanne, what is the new role that the Women's International Bowling Congress has with the Professional Women's Bowling Association?
Well, we have a partnership between the Women's International Bowling Congress and the Professional Women's Bowling Association, and I think that it's been a great partnership. In fact, it's been a win-win situation. The WIBC and the PWBA and women's bowling have gotten more exposure in this last year than we've ever gotten before. In fact, the telecast, the time slots for the telecast have really been great, and reaching 65 million homes is a huge plus. Without the PWBA, we wouldn't have the exposure that we have for women's bowling, and we appreciate the fact that the PWBA players are very supportive of WIBC membership and are trying to promote the value of membership to everybody else. And it's just really been great that they've been so supportive of us, and we're very supportive of them.
Well, on behalf of the PWBA and its members, we thank you for that support. Now, let's talk about this event. There's another partnership there with Reno Tri-Properties.
Absolutely. The Tri-Properties, Eldorado, Silver Legacy, and Circus Circus have been super sponsors of the Queens Tournament. In fact, they're sponsoring the championship tournament. They're the headquarters hotel for our championship tournament as well as our convention. And we're in the second year of a 3-year contract. And I think that speaking for Tri-Properties, promoting and sponsoring our events in the non-Reno years speaks a lot for them, and they like the partnership, and certainly we do too.
Okay, thanks, Roseanne, very much for your support. So far tonight in the opening match, Kim Terrell threw 2 in the 10th to secure her win over Leanne Barrett and Sharon Aronson, 234 to 228 and 140. In match 2, Marianne DeRupo had a 5-bagger early and never looked back, ending Kim Terrell's hope of a crown, 236 to 213. Coming up next, Marianne DeRupo goes head-to-head against Wendy McPherson for all the jewels. trophy one of these players will walk away with today, along with all the jewels, the pendant, the tiara, and it will be Marianne DeRupo or Wendy McPherson. It's the championship match, the 2000 WIBC Queens tournament. Wow. We've both been there.
This is it. You know, that last match is awful, especially, you know, Marianne right now, she has to defeat Wendy twice because Wendy has not lost.
That's right.
In the entire tournament.
Double elimination. So if Marianne would win this match, they would bowl another match.
That's right.
Marianne on hammer, pro staff, and contour.
Well, I think Wendy made a good choice in letting Marianne start because that means that Marianne's going to have to finish on the right lane, and she does not like the right lane.
Wendy, 32 years old, 14 years on tour. And Wendy opens with a big strike. Joyce Deitch, the WIBC president, on hand here all week and at several of her stops. She was out in Las Vegas. Great lady and does a lot for women and bowling.
You know, this week she was out checking the lanes. WIBC has a thing called process verification. And when they do the lanes, they have people here that check the lanes. Joyce, Teresa Bear, and Sissy Bryant were out there watching that lane machine go up and back, making sure they're done the same every day.
Double for Wendy, bowling very well. If you just read that graphic, she's had some tremendous finishes this year. Marianne taking some time here.
It's a big match right here. She has to get by this match to have a chance at the title.
You can see Marianne on her shirt wearing a pin, and that's what it is. It is the Susan B. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation pin combined with the Women's International Bowling Congress, and they've joined forces to fight breast cancer. Very important.
That's right, and they've raised quite a bit of money so far.
So look again, beautiful pin. I believe they're $5, and most of that goes to the Cancer Foundation.
It's a good cause, too.
You can probably find out where to purchase those through maybe the bowling website, www.bowl.com. If not, send them an email and find out.
That's right.
Well, and in the last decade in Tampa, Florida, in 1990, the Final Five included WIBC Hall of Famers Pat Costello and Vesma Grinfeld. But it was Team USA veteran Patty Ann who earned the title, defeating Grinfeld in the championship match 207 to 173. And the rest of the winners in the 90s. Lisa Wagner, 96. A lot of these players still out on tour.
And
most
Jan
of them.
Schmidt, 93.
Long time ago. Big strike for Marianne DeRupo in the third frame. Wendy taking a re-rack right now. Players were allowed 2 re-racks per game this week at the WIBC Queens event.
Right. After that, they had to ask permission, and a WIBC official would come out and take care of the re-rack.
711 to 673. Huge scores. There's 3 in a row for Wendy, and she told us about a special birthday present.
Yes, my father, Chris, had a birthday this week, and he came up and watched me bowl all week. And it was such a great day yesterday. Everything happened yesterday, from making the show to being top seed. And I just tried to give that to him as a birthday present and tell him thank you.
As she leads by 20 pins, and it's important. Family, she's lucky she was able to have her out with her this week, have him out with her this week. Oh, and not kicking out the 7. Family's such an important issue, and we miss a lot of events. I want to take a moment. My niece and godchild, Barbara Dodrell, is graduating as we're doing this show, and I'm not there. But sorry, Barbara, and I hope it's going great. Congratulations to all of the grade school, high school, college people that are graduating this weekend.
Well, and I bet you have a really great present waiting, huh?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, but we can't tell her what it is.
Right.
Okay. Covering up the 7-pin, Marianne stepping up in the 4th frame, trails by 19 pins, but can take it to 9 with 1 strike here.
This is a lane she's had a little bit of trouble on.
Oh, and that takes it to 9 pins. Well, last year, my partner Lisa Wagner wowed the crowds in Omaha, winning her 31st title. Can she defend her championship? We'll find out next Monday night, June 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2, the home of women's bowling. Ooh, you looked intense.
Oh, I remember that one.
Ooh,
Hadn't had a title for a while, and boy, did that feel good.
I'll bet it did.
I want to do it again, though. Watching these players bowl, they're so good, and it inspires you. It just makes everybody, it should make you want to get out and practice.
And that shot could have been for a lead change, but it's not going to happen in the 5th frame. Washout for Marianne.
Ball sliding by, never picked up a roll. She said that she wanted to keep a tight line, and got a feeling she hit her out of bounds a little bit. Left herself with a washout. Got to get to the left of the headpin.
And she takes 3 of them, but stay with us. We'll be right back with the conclusion of the championship match. Marianne Drupo and Wendy McPherson both struck in the 6th frame. Wendy had a spare in the 5th, and Marianne Drupo trails by 23 pins. She's stepping up in the 7th frame right now. She can take it to 13 with a strike here.
In case you didn't notice before, she is using 2 different balls.
And she did that quite a bit this week, she told us.
Yes, she did.
Oh, and a 10-pin. Now, why would she do that, Lisa? Why did she choose to do 2 different balls?
Well, she's definitely looking for a good reaction on each lane, and it just happens to be that each lane's a little bit different. She said that for her, the left lanes this week in general were a little bit tighter, so she used something that was a little bit stronger. The right lanes were a little bit, she felt, more wet dry. She had a little bit drier track to the right, so she's using something that maybe might arc a little bit more, a little bit less aggressive.
Shoots the spare, and that's a good lesson for everyone at home. You can't line up the pair the same way. Make sure you line up each lane that you're bowling on instead of moving off of a shot, say on 26 here, for 25.
Wendy's max score, 267. On a pretty good pace right here.
Oh, and a 10-pin for Wendy. Now, she's going for her 2nd Queens title here. She won back in 1988, and guess where?
In Reno.
In Reno.
And she also
Absolutely.
said she was 20 years old at that time, so she couldn't spend any of her winnings in the casino.
And
But
she
you know
came
what?
through the winner's bracket.
That's right. If she wins here, guarantee you,
She'll be spending some?
she
Nope.
will.
Maybe we should go with her.
She's going gambling.
Covers up that spare to maintain her 23-pin lead. Wendy, a member of Columbia Pro Staff and Contour Power Grips, as well as Mongoose. Marianne looking on, just going, okay, well, I know I have my work cut out for me.
The head goes down because she does not like to watch her opponent.
Oh, big shot in the 8th frame. Wendy is trying to put this away in the 1st match. Doesn't want to take it to the 2nd match. We talked to her about that last night.
That's right. She said that she wants to get it right out of the way. Take care of it now. Don't have to bowl that second match. Just, for her, she'd like to step up and put her opponent down the first match.
Well, Marianne also has a major title, not a Queens, but she's won the Hammer Players Championship. Her max score, 224 at this point, and not anymore. Another 9-pin. We've seen a lot of those today.
We saw Leanne Barrett leave 2 of them. A little bit different angle that Marianne's playing, but the ball still drove through, just too strong, went right by the 9-pin.
Covers this spare up, and this doesn't show you all the excitement that goes on all week. Marianne told us about her most exciting match.
Well, this week I had a lot of exciting matches, but the most important match this week was bowling against Sharon Aronson, because the winner of that match proceeded to the 1 and 2 spot, which I guess is very crucial in this tournament. But it was an exciting match because of the perspective that it went down to the 10th frame, actually the fill ball, and I needed to strike on the fill ball to beat her by 1 pin. If I got a 9 count, we tied. So the crowd was all behind us because we were the last ones to finish, and it was a very, very exciting match.
Marianne will again be the last one to finish, but she's going to need to set up a strike here in the 9th frame. Trails by 24 pins, and Wendy is working on a strike.
Yeah, that's right. A very important shot right here. She doesn't strike, Wendy's just going to show up. That's going to be all she wrote.
True champion throws a big strike in the 9th frame.
Wendy taking a re-rack here. Didn't like it.
While she's re-racking, we'll show you a few records that fell this week. Carolyn Doran Ballard, 2147 for 9 games of all events. Previous record was 2065.
Kendra Cameron this week shot 812 for the Kegel Training Center, #1. Previous record 773. Debbie Kim, Baltimore.
And this lady, Wendy McPherson, her team, huge, took over the lead in the team event with a score of 32-34. And that broke an old record of 31-84 by 50 pins. That was the Nacarado group of Tacoma, Washington back in 1996.
As in Jeannie Nacarado.
Yeah, exactly. So sorry, Jeannie, your record's gone. Wendy McPherson and her group took it over. Other members of that team were Maxine Nabel, Carol Giannotti, Tennille Grijalva, and Marlis Tapp.
When they're losing 2 of those players next year. So they got to find a couple more to step in their shoes.
Because the rules in the Nationals are 2 touring players on a team. And next year, things go the way we think. Tennille will be a touring player as well, Maxine Nabel. Marianne taking a drink of water, relaxing there before she gets up in the 10th frame. Wendy McPherson stepping up in the 10th, working on a spare. That was a huge shot. She needed a mark in the 10th frame.
A great shot right here. Look at that, just flush in the pocket. Just about saw that 9-pin again. Look at her reaction. She knows that this one is real important. Look at that.
Needed that mark, and now she needs 7 pins on 2 balls because of a strike. Really, really big shot.
That's all she wrote.
Well, Wendy McPherson, what a great birthday present for her dad, Chris.
Turned 62.
And he's proud of it.
Yes, he kept, now he's, Social Security. And he told all of us this week that you're working for me now.
Well, Marianne will pay a bit of his Social Security with that $13,000 second place finish. Wendy came a long way to win this event, qualified. She was 85th after the first round. And now Wendy McPherson captures the 40th WIBC Queens Championship. There is more coming, so don't go away.
A disappointing home loss when they battled Dante Washington and the crew in Columbus. DC United Columbus, Saturday at 8 on ESPN2.
The championship round finals of the 2000 WIBC Queens tournament are being brought to you by the Women's International Bowling Congress, striving for 85 years to identify and fulfill the needs of women bowlers. And by MasterCard. There are some things in life money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. There is your champion of the 2000 WIBC Queens tournament, presented by Reno Tri Properties, Wendy McPherson. Final score 227 to 202. Joyce Deitch, WIBC president, has a beautiful pendant and trophy.
Oh, we're so proud of you, Wendy. You've had a spectacular week.
Thank you, Joyce, very, very much.
And coming in with the tiara, which is already on her head, Roseanne Kuhn, executive director of WIBC.
The tiara looks wonderful on you, and it's replica of good gut. You know, we congratulate you.
And I know you're waiting for the dollars. Rick Murdoch, Vice President of Marketing of the El Dorado, representing Tri Properties.
Tri Properties, what a great victory, and we're glad to have you here in Reno. Thank you.
Well, you have everything now, Wendy. Congratulations on your second Queen's victory.
This has been a great week. Thank you. I'd like to thank Tri Properties, also WIBC, Joyce Deitch, and Roseanne Kuhn, and everyone else who's so wonderful. Also, a big thanks to Columbia and Chad Murphy, Contour Grips, Mongoose, and a special thanks to my father for being here this week to share this with me. And all my fans and friends, thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Congratulations to Wendy again. Happy birthday to her dad, Chris. It's her second Queen's victory. Don't forget to tune in next Monday night at our normal time, 9 p.m. Eastern, to see my partner, Lisa Wagner, see if she can defend her Omaha Open title at Maplewood Lanes in Omaha, Nebraska. For Lisa Wagner, I'm Jan Schmidt. We hope you enjoyed the 40th crowning of a WIBC Queen. So long from the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.